Hello, everybody. I want to give some encouragement to estranged single parents who are looking to date again. I was single for about 10 years, many years into my estrangement from my own two daughters when I met my now husband back in 2020. And he was a single dad of a 15-year-old. We lived about 40 minutes away from one another, so we weren't in the same town, and we probably would have never crossed paths if it hadn't been for online dating. And he loved being a dad. He's a great dad, and when it comes to parental estrangement, the last thing you're thought of is a great parent, great mom, great dad, etc. People say you must have done something in order for your children to walk out of your life. They must have suffered some sort of terrible abuse, neglect, etc. And so it's sometimes a tough pill to swallow. The pills are guilt, shame, embarrassment, and ridicule, um, feeling as if you're imprisoned, you're cut off from your own grandkids. So a lot of people say you must have done something. And so how do you go meet people who have an existence with their children and you do not? So then you think, well, maybe I just have to date other estranged parents, and you put yourself in that dating pool because they would understand. And so when I met my husband back in 2020, his profile was normal. He said, I'm a single dad. I'm a hard worker, and he seemed like a really humble type of a guy. So I said, well, I hope he understands. And so when we met, I knew he was my person. But in the back of my mind, I thought, but is he going to feel the same way about me? And so we met, we chit-chatted, we got deep, and I said, I have two daughters, but I haven't, there's been no contact for quite some time. And he said, my mom helped to raise one of her sister's children, so it would have been his first cousin. And she recently estranged from our family as well. And his mom hadn't done anything to justify the estrangement. She was about the same age as my own daughters. And so there was a certain sort of understanding from him and grace and given towards me about my situation. He didn't ask. I touch on it once in a while if one of my daughter's birthdays is coming up. I say today might be a little bit gloomy for me, as I look back at all the years I was gifted with my children. And so I was fortunate to have met someone who understood. And chances are, when you meet other people, there is an estrangement within their family somewhere. Maybe their sister is estranged, or their cousin's estranged, or they haven't seen an uncle for a while. No one is really immune to estrangement. It's in the Bible. The prodigal son, he left his father and went off and did his worldly things, blew his inheritance, and came back. So this is nothing new. So I'm not going to wear a crown of shame. It's not that I talk about it all that much, because I don't want to meet someone new and they talk, oh, my daughter's going to college or going to have a grandson or whatever. I'm not going to rain on your parade and say, well, my daughters have been estranged for 15 years. And then the mood shifts, and we don't need that. I don't want to take away from your joy. So anyways, I hope this helps. Don't be ashamed. Just say it, my daughters and I are distant at the moment, and I haven't seen them in a while, and maybe someday, but today is not that day, and let's move forward. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I'll be back.